Welcome back to the Chad Hasty Show on News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 AM KFYO. I'm Chad Hasty. Joining me in studio right now, the president and CEO of the Lubbock Chamber of Commerce, our good friend Eddie McBride, back here with us.
Chad, thank you very much for letting us come on.
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome back. How are you?
I'm great, Chad. It's nice weather outside. It's called Chamber of Commerce Plan B weather.
Yeah, you're okay with this? This is...
Well, it needs to quit raining. The cotton guys are, it's slowing them down quite a bit, so it's okay to rain, but go away for a little while and come back later.
Dry up a little bit.
Come back after the harvest,
there
please.
You go.
Because they do need that rain for future planting, but they don't need it right now as much as they're getting.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, one of the reasons we have you on today is this is Chamber of Commerce Week.
Yes, sir. And it's declared by Governor Abbott. Thanks to Governor Abbott for recognizing the almost 400 chambers across the state of Texas. And it's to recognize, obviously, the role of chambers of commerce they have in all of our local communities across the state of Texas. So we're proud to have a chance both to recognize our volunteers and everybody and the stuff that we do for the community. So we appreciate the time for you to let us talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as far as I think everyone's heard about the chamber and they know the chamber does a lot of different events. What is the main goal for the Chamber of Commerce here in Lubbock?
The business community, obviously, we've been around since 1913. And, Chad, the biggest thing that we're doing is trying to promote commerce, try to grow our quality of life through the business community growth. So our mission is to strengthen and promote and grow our chamber businesses. And if we do that throughout the business community, obviously we succeed in helping commerce thrive. So everything we do, whether it be advocating on behalf of business, whether it be at City Hall, whether it be at Austin or D.C., or whether it be the events that we do, network development, so folks can learn more about other people's businesses, everything we do is the attempt to help businesses grow and pro-jobs, pro-growth, pro-community efforts. So that's generally the theme that's been here for years. Community development.
Right.
We don't do economic development. That is, we support LEDA and Market Lubbock in what they do. Great partnership with all of those entities in town, so nonetheless, our role is to support the community and help it grow.
There are, I guess, those who, is that the same for every chamber? Does every chamber act the same way the Lubbock Chamber does when it comes to marketing and growth and trying to bring in businesses, or do they support the businesses that are already here? How does that work?
Generally, Chad, most chambers we always have a saying in the industry, you've seen one chamber, but they are unique. But in reality, the basic reasons for the chambers is to help businesses grow and thrive in their community. So some do it. The smaller chambers obviously don't have as much of an opportunity for maybe an advocacy program, but they still participate in one role or another. So generally, our chambers get larger throughout the nation. They generally are more involved in the advocacy and the pro-business elements and all the legislative process.
Well, what's the business climate like right now?
In Lubbock is great. It's great. It's I think all in all, we see all the small business figures and everything, and through the tax cuts that we've experienced and through all the economic growth. I mean, we just heard yesterday, I guess today, the startling news. There's been a million extra jobs that have been gone unfilled. So there's over 7 million jobs in the nation that go unfilled. They don't have the skilled labor or whatever reason can't fill those jobs. Low unemployment and everything else. That's great news. But the fact we still have a skilled education, skilled jobs issues that we still obviously need to address correctly. But I think all in all, I think business is pretty the folks that I've talked to, generally speaking, on a whole, business is thriving well in our community.
Yeah. Is there anything that, an issue or two like that businesses come to you? Every now and then I hear from businesses that they get upset about sign ordinance.
Oh, yeah.
They talk about that. Are there any issues popping up that, may not be number one to go to the city council about, but that, hey, there are some businesses out here who are concerned about this particular area?
The biggest concerns that I hear from more than several people nature is access to capital. I mean, although I don't think there's any constriction from the banks or anybody else as far as availability, I do think that the biggest thing I hear that are hurting businesses getting started or growing is just access to capital. And it's just being able to find it. I mean, in banks and or lending institutions have to take the risk to give money to businesses to grow. Yeah. So, and if they don't have a good business plan, or if obviously there's some questions about their success, there might be more of a risk. But that's probably in and of itself the biggest problem. And that's not unusual. I mean, it's a lot better than it was in the 08, 09, the post-housing debacle.
Yeah.
But there was more constrictions back then, or some of the banking regulations. With those release of regulations, I think it's eased that environment for banks a lot. But that's still one of the biggest issues that I hear.
Yeah, I'm visiting with Eddie McBride, Lubbock Chamber of Commerce. You just got done with the Big Hub City Barbecue. Looks like that was a pretty big success this year.
We had a lot of fun. Thank you for coming out and making it successful yourself.
Thank you.
If it wouldn't have been for you, Chad, we wouldn't have had any winners.
I do what I can. And also, I appreciate the invitation to be a judge. It's fun every year.
We enjoy you coming out because obviously you and the station down here take very good care of us, so we appreciate that. But being out at the fairgrounds the first time, I think logistically and for the guests, for the people that bought tickets to come in, was a lot more easy to get in and out of parking-wise and everything else than it was downtown. I still miss downtown. Still wish, there was a way to make it easier to do it downtown, but it was awful easy to do it at the fair. Excuse me, I better be careful. I'll get in trouble. It was easier than it normally is. It wasn't awfully easy whatsoever, but nonetheless, it was a good place.
Well, and what was some of the, I don't know, the folks who were like sitting at my table, we were all kind of talking about the move from downtown to the fair, and we all liked the move. Honestly, we all thought it was great because there was more space, there was a lot more parking. Was that kind of the reason why it was moved from downtown? Is because it's just gotten so big, and there's now there's a lot more limited space, it seems like.
Well, the biggest difference between being downtown and being at the fairgrounds was just the space for the people to get in between the cooking teams. And so if there was one reason whatsoever to move over to the fairgrounds, is just for the ease of our customers to go and be able to taste all the fare and meet with people and everything else. It's not that it was bad downtown, but it was a lot more crowded.
Yeah.
There was just a lot more space. I'm not saying that if we can find a bigger space downtown, and we're always looking for, we've been in the Depot Entertainment District, we've been in various parts of downtown, we've been in the parking lot due west of our building, so we're always finding the most perfect location. I would much prefer to be downtown, but I do know one thing for sure, that the fair worked extremely well, and I think a lot of the folks who helped put it on are very satisfied at how it came off.
Yeah. What does the future hold for the Lubbock Chamber of Commerce? What are y'all looking ahead to?
Well, the biggest thing we got going on, I want all your listeners to know, is November 1st, we're going to have a reception for Bob and Terry Duncan, the former chancellor. This is a great opportunity for the business community to say thanks to the Duncans for the role that they played, not only just at Texas Tech as the chancellor, but also in his legislative duties representing West Texas. So next Thursday, oh my gosh, that's a week from tomorrow.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Holy smoke. No, 2 weeks. I'm sorry, 2 weeks. November 1st, it's going to be at the McKenzie Merckett Alumni Center from 4:30 to 6:30, and we want everybody to come out and let the Duncans know how much we appreciate their service and sacrifice for Lubbock and West Texas.
It's going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah, and whatever he has to say, we're looking forward to that as well.
You have a preview?
Not at all.
Okay,
as a matter of fact,
right.
When I first asked him, he said no. So I don't blame him, because it might have been a little bit too soon. Like the next couple of days, I asked him.
Yeah.
And so, but when we got back together to talk about it, he was and I said, well, we'll just throw a reception for Terry and let him hang on her arm as she goes. But the Duncans are great people, and they really do understand that it's us wanting to meet with him and thank him and shake his hand and say thank you very much. So I think he appreciates the chance for us to bring him up and let us talk to him.
Yeah. Before I let you go, as we talk about Chamber of Commerce Week, one of the things that y'all do at the Chamber of Commerce, you also look ahead to the legislative session, and y'all are involved in that. Any I guess things that y'all are working on right now? Any goals for the upcoming session?
Developing those as we speak. Obviously, our Government Relations Committee met last week, and we're finalizing, if you will, our issues and our position statements. And no doubt, beyond a shadow of a doubt, the vet school funding is going to be number one. And obviously, there's a lot of other issues that were being formulated at the time, but we've already committed to that fact that vet and dental school funding too, vet school, dental school, and the new mental health initiative, obviously, that Chancellor Mitchell is still doing with this Health Sciences Center president hat on. Both of those things are going to be important. to us as well. And that's a real great opportunity between the academic institution and Health Sciences Center, this mental health initiative. So all of that's going to be coming together. So, and then we have a cast of thousands other items, obviously, and education is going to be huge, both public education as well as any other funding for Texas Tech as well.
Yeah, very nice. Eddie McBride with Chamber of Commerce, tell folks where they can get more information and get in contact with y'all for future events.
lubbockchamber.com is our website. 761-7000 is our phone, and we're at 1500 Broadway at the Wells Fargo Center on the bottom floor. So please come by, call us, or check us out on any of our website and social media. Certainly would like to hear from folks.
All right, Eddie, good to see you.
Chad, thank you very much.